A very warm welcome to you all. Well, it's certainly back to normal for me. There's been a lot going on this week, and many of you will have probably heard, indeed, I was on the Today programme earlier this week with the delay once again of the target operating model. This is the fifth time that it has been delayed. And there are huge concerns building now. One, of course, being our competitive disadvantage with our EU trading partners. They have exactly what they had before. They have frictionless trade with us. And in the meantime, we are facing the full gamut of checks on the EU side. So real concerns there, but huge concerns around our biosecurity and the threat of not having these checks in place and what that means for our plant and animal health. And don't forget the huge costs of all of this too. So real concerns for growers, and if you like, the double standards approach of government and how these checks are going out. You know, growers and nurseries are facing 100% checks. Plants going into retail are facing anywhere between 5 and 30% checks. So being bought by the public, the risk of disease spreading quickly without people knowing. Nurseries, on the other hand, incredibly biosecure, know exactly what they're looking for, and they are facing all of these checks, which of course is adding huge cost. And so we've got to get to a way that this works seamlessly and plants can get into nurseries without delay. So it's a different approach for animal health and plant health, but ultimately we need the model up and running, and we need it to be cost effective and to work for producers in this country. So, as I say, the fifth time that it's been delayed, and it doesn't look now like the whole thing will be fully completed and up and running until October next year. Of course, who knows what will be happening then? We could well be going into a general election. So enormous frustrations on that, and as is always the case, a lot of media interest in it. But I was also this week able to welcome some of the DEFRA team out to the farm. A lot to talk about with the huge challenges of cost inflation, the situation with the SFI. I made it very clear our concerns that, you know, if payments aren't going to be made, which we now have it confirmed that there will not be payments made in this calendar year, how many people are going to be able to access the SFI? Is delivery going to work? All the concerns I've talked about in the past, I was able to run by them. And, you know, I think there is now political concern with what they call the flagship government policy as to whether it can be delivered. So I'll update you more on that next week when the whole team effectively will meet in our headquarters. Because if we're going to make the case in December for the BPS to be replenished, if you like, for what it was before, we need to go big. And I'd like to think that the whole industry will stand behind that, because cash flow is a major issue. We've only got to look at the weather that we've had. Harvest still going on right across the country. It's the 1st of September, and there's a hell of a lot to do. It does, at least, hopefully, fingers crossed, that like a better week. But so many times the forecast has changed. It's looked okay. And then we've had more rainfall on the back of it. Big things with the SFI, with the target operating model, and we're going into the autumn and winter months. So I'll keep you updated as and when things change on that. And I have got my last show to be going to, actually, of the season. So I'm off to Alresford Show tomorrow morning very early. We've got a breakfast meeting on the stand, so really looking forward to going to Alresford Show. And if you're there, please do come and say hello. But anyway, wherever you are, I have my fingers crossed that the weather is picking up and looking better, and that we can get harvest completed. So please do take care, and I really look forward to speaking to you again next week. Many thanks.